10 things you need to know about the Chiko Solar Carport, and these are in no particular order. I'm gonna get started right away. Number 10 is the logistics. It was a little challenging getting the pallet to my job site because the 2-car structure has a very large pallet that it comes on. It's 19 foot long, 2 foot tall, 2 foot wide, and just below 2,000 pounds. So it made it a little challenging figuring out how I was going to get it delivered because I could not have a machine at my job site that could take it off the truck, and they didn't offer that service at the time. So ultimately I had to go to the terminal and pick it up. However, I think those challenges have been resolved now, and I heard that they can have it delivered directly to your job site. So that's a massive positive. Number 9. Although most people have this installed as a DC coupled system, you can install microinverters like I did, or add DC optimizers if you would like. You have multiple areas that you can mount your microinverters or optimizers to. You can attach them directly to the panels, or like I have, I attached it to the C channel. I like this configuration because in theory, it will keep the microinverters cooler and help extend their service life well beyond their warranty period. Number 8, if zoning in your area are limiting ground mount arrays, this is a perfect solution. I know from experience because there were bans on in-ground mounts in my jurisdiction at the time that I was trying to put solar in the ground. However, this is a permitted structure identified as a carport, gazebo, or pergola. The engineering stamp has it for all 3. My actual permit for mine I put as a carport. Once the main structure was completed, I had it inspected, and then I filed for adding solar. So legally, it is adding solar to an existing structure, which is not considered an in-ground solar array. And I hope this information helps someone who is experiencing what I did for a couple of years, because I tried to install a solar wall, which I was unable to get a permit for because it wasn't at a certain height. So I could not get it as a permittable structure that would not allow me to put solar on it because it would be acting as solar ground mount. So this was a perfect solution to get around the red tape of the ground mount system. And I know how stupid that sounds, but that was the situation that I was in. Number 7, Chiko USA offers this carport in 4 variations: the 1-car, the 2-car, 3-car, and 4-car options. The 1-car can accommodate up to 12 panels. The 2-car can accommodate up to 24 panels, while the 3-car is designed for 36 panels, and the 4-car is good for 48 panels. Number 6, the accommodation of a ton of different solar panels will work on this carport. However, I do want to point out from experience, if you oversize the panels, they'll still work, but you'll be limited to the number of panels that you can put on a roof. I was going to go with 440 watt Aptos solar panels, but after running the numbers, that would reduce me from 24 panels on the roof to 18 panels on the roof. That was what would fit if I used those panels. So these 415 watt Sirius bifacial panels are an absolute perfect pairing for this carport. They have a very nice finish on the backside. So I think they're absolutely beautiful, and I'm glad I went with them. So if you run into a situation where you're looking for panels, be sure to check out the links that I'm going to leave in the description below, because these are a perfect pairing and they'll fit with no problem. And if you watch the install video that I did, I actually give you some measurements so it will make your install much easier. And I should point out that the Sirius solar panels are made in Texas. Number 5, wind speeds and snow loads. There are 2 different versions that I know of. You have the Maximo 185 version, which is rated for up to 185 mile an hour wind velocity and snow loads up to 60 pounds per square foot, while the premium version is designed to withstand wind velocities up to 150 mile an hour winds and snow loads up to 45 pounds per square foot. Although the snow loads weren't our major concern, wind velocity was a concern for us because in the spring, we get pretty strong storms. And as soon as we got this installed, we were hit with a pretty bad storm 2 or 3 times in 1 week. We had tornadoes in both of those storms that were very close to us. We had wind speeds that were excess of 85 mile an hour, and we had absolutely no damage out of the system. Hopefully we never see the 150 or 185 mile an hour winds, because the solar system will be the least of my worries. Number 4, many states and jurisdictions might require you to have a stamped engineering document before allowing you to build a solar structure. Upon request, you can get these for Arizona and California directly from Chiko Solar. But if you live in a different state like I do, just reach out to sales or customer support and they'll do everything they can to help you out. Because from my experience, my local jurisdiction accepted the California stamped engineering document, although I lived in a different state. Number 3 is that these solar carports come with a 25-year warranty, and that steel is protected by an advanced SAM coating, and that's ZAM, and that stands for zinc, aluminum, magnesium. That just makes that paint so much tougher to scuff and prevent rust down the road. And I'm probably gonna get the question, why didn't you just build a wood structure? It would have been so much cheaper. And at face value, that does seem to be correct. However, there are couple things to take in consideration, and depends on your end goals, which one would actually be cheaper or not. Because if you are connecting to the grid, you're probably going to have to get an agreement with your local utility company and your jurisdiction for your planning and zoning to build the structure. And in most areas, they are probably going to require some type of engineering document that shows that it can withhold certain wind velocities and snow loads. And with Chiko Solar, they've already created all this engineering documents for you with the design of the system, and it's very, very detailed. I'm pretty sure it was around 150 or 180 pages long. It's a long document, and they were able to get that stamped, and that gives you all of the information about this system. If I was going to go build this myself, I would have to draw up the blueprints. Then I would have to get approval from a licensed engineer that all of my calculations are correct. Then I would go start to build it. And now we got to start thinking about the racking system that's going to hold down the solar panels. And all of that is added cost. It's not just the cost of the wood and the fasteners to put it together. It is everything. The racking systems are not cheap when you start putting it up. I did a racking system on the studio here on top of the building, and that racking system alone was $1,700 with the racking and the connectors that would hold all the panels down. So just for that was $1,700. So just take those things into consideration. It really just depends on your overall goals. Are you connecting to the grid? Are you not connecting to the grid? Are you getting a permit or are you not getting a permit? And what do they require when getting that permit? For me, this was the most cost-effective method that I could take. Number 2, and something you may not be aware of, is that roof is leak-free. So we went through 4 days of heavy rain. We had over 12 inches of rain in this area, and I checked it several times, and we didn't get one leak with that gutter system. Let me show you what that looked like. And as you can see here, I'm standing under the carport, and I'm completely dry. We don't have one leak, which I'm very impressed with. Number 1, this is considered to be a DIY install. And if you haven't checked that video out where I installed this, you might want to check that out because it's pretty interesting. And it kind of shows you what it takes for one person to install this. Although I did get a little extra help to put some of the beams on top and the panels on top, because out here we have a very windy area. And I recruited my brother to come over and help me out. But it can be achievable with one person to build this. It would just be a little bit challenging. And it will take you a little bit more time than what you'll ever hear anybody tell you. But it is achievable to be able to install this by yourself. And if you're looking for my overall recommendation, that is definitely a super buy in my opinion. And I would highly recommend it. I've tried everything to capture the size of this on camera, and I just can't get it to capture correctly because it's a lot bigger than it actually looks, and it's a lot sturdier than it looks. Once you get this thing on the pallet and you start feeling the materials, you're going to realize that it is a very high quality solar carport, and it's worth every penny that they're asking for it. So in my recommendation, certainly I would recommend the solar carport in whatever configuration, whether it's the 1, 2, 3, or 4 car carport. These things are built to last, I think, a lifetime. And if you're interested in a carport, I'll have links in the description below so you can check that out. Also, if you're just looking for information on how to build it, or maybe even put microinverters on it, I've got all sorts of different types of videos on that. Be sure to check them out. I'll try to leave them here at the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you in my next one.